Hey y'all, I'm just testing to make sure the audio is working for our live stream. We'll start at 10:30. Thank you.
Hey, Marcus.
Miss Reed, how are you?
I'm great. How are you today?
Hey, another day above dirt, right?
That's right. It's a beautiful day here.
Well, it's starting to get warmer, and the
Yes,
sun is actually coming out, so that's good.
it's a good thing.
Yes.
Good morning, everybody.
Good morning.
Morning, Noel.
How are you?
I'm doing good. How are you guys?
Great.
Good.
Do you guys get a lot of rain?
We got some.
Not like we did, I don't think.
No, we got some in the early in the morning.
Hi, Marcus.
Sarah's good to see you.
Good to see you too. Let's see here.
Hi, Sarah.
Hey, Lori, how you doing?
Great. Thanks. Good to
So
see you.
I am headed to Bordeaux, Toulouse, Montpellier, Sète, Nîmes, Marseille, and Paris at the end. Where have
Fabulous.
which of those places have any of you been to?
None,
I
Paris.
haven't either yet.
unfortunately.
You're gonna love it, but I've only been to Paris.
Me too. That's the funny thing. And so I feel like, well, I mean, I know from talking to friends, it's, non-Paris is a different country.
Gonna have a great time.
I know. And my husband, who is the meticulous planner, just has everything, I'm just along for the ride, which is the best.
Nice. We just went to Florence, Italy, and we didn't know until we got there that our apartment had 97 steps.
So how often did you pause on your way up and
We
down?
only went up and down one day, once a day.
Yeah.
There's no taking a nap, there's no resting, there's no anything. You just stay out. And that's the difference between you having a meticulous planner husband and us not. We missed it. We didn't see that.
Well, I will say, so we have also these all like it's all Airbnbs and things, and there's one, maybe it's in Montpellier. He asked me, he said, "Do you mind if we're on the fourth floor, which is in Europe is the fifth floor? It's a walk up, of course." He said, "But the view will be spectacular." I was like, "Just do it. Let's just do it."
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
yes, we also, I mean, it means no, you're not running down to get an extra coffee or
You can't
Right.
forget something in the room.
But I said, you know, anytime now, I mean, at the moment, we can still do it.
While you can still do it.
Eh,
Yes.
You know, eventually our knees will go out and we won't be able to, right?
And they don't, you can't do wheelchairs up
No,
97
yeah.
steps. Yeah.
But at the moment, okay, 97, that's good. Now I'm going to count and see what our,
Yeah. Hopefully it'll be less.
oh my God. But I bet the view is nice.
The view was phenomenal, so it was worth it.
Yeah.
It was worth it.
So as long as you're well stocked.
Yes. Yes.
That's very funny. Hmm. And you just, you know, if you have a sense of humor and realize going up the stairs, you might go up a bit of a ways and then sit down and read a little bit of your novel and then go up a few more flights.
Yeah. Pause.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. No, we also, when we travel, we do it like we each have it's a small carry-on luggage. That's it, right? We travel with very little.
I am still learning that.
Well,
I'm not good at it.
no, but I think,
You need
you
to
know,
learn that, Laura.
I know. I
Hey.
know. 50 pounds up 97 steps was not.
oh no. Yeah, no, that's absolutely not viable. But see, that's the thing. If you're going to travel with luggage, you have to travel with a Sherpa. If you can't do that, you
Mhm.
know, but it depends also on what you're doing. You know, we're doing this kind of traveling at the moment where we don't need to dress up really, right? I mean, we don't need a lot of costume changes that we
Mhm.
might with a different kind of trip. I
Right.
mean, when I go
We
to
did
visit
have some
family,
business things, but I still
totally
should learn
different,
how to
right?
carry on. It's
Yeah.
a goal of mine. I'm going to carry on
I
one
mean,
day.
when I visit my family in New York, I carry more luggage than when I go for 3 weeks to Europe,
Mhm.
you know, because I know I'm going to have to, I will need costume changes.
Right. I love it. Costume changes.
That's what they are, man.
Mhm.
I've told my wife is in the same boat as Laura, and I told her I've seen her have a come apart. We were in Amsterdam a few years ago, and her luggage did not get there, and she had a complete come apart until she got her hands on her luggage. She was just miserable, and then so I at that point I've started doing carry on luggage
Hmm.
for everything. We're going on a talk trip, talk trip, and they have a 50-pound weight limit, and that 50 pounds is basically a carry-on and a backpack.
Yep.
And so I told her, I said, "You can't carry these two suitcases. We've lost Lowry. What happened to her?"
I'm still here.
Oh, well, your picture went away.
Oh,
Oh, there you are.
okay.
Well, but anyway, so we went to Italy uh fall before last, and we did carry on for a week, and she made it just fine. Now we check everything on the way back just so we don't have to mess with it, and it took a week and a half to get our luggage back.
Oh, wow.
God.
You know, if you do, I mean, this British Air flight, uh, direct flight from Nashville to London is great, but British Air has the worst, I repeat, worst luggage handling
Wow.
skills of anybody I've dealt with.
We're too cheap to do that. We stop several places.
Well, I'm going, well, we're doing Delta to Prague in May. And so
Mhm.
we're just going to see how that goes. But anyway,
I'm
y'all
not
know
sure that we're flying. I mean, when we're flying into Bordeaux and then we're flying back out of Paris because the times are much better. And I think we fly back through Boston, through Logan, from Charles de Gaulle. But I don't know what airline. I hope, yeah, we'll see.
Air Ethiopia, probably, if you got a good deal.
No, thank you. We probably are not flying that. No.
Hi, Chuck.
I don't see Chuck.
Good morning.
Oh, you need more pictures, John. You're confused.
Let me. Oh,
We're
there's
here.
Chuck. There's Chuck. Oh, I see him now.
Good morning.
Good to see you, Mr. Hill.
Thank you.
What are you up to, Chuck?
Oh, and Marcus too.
Yes.
That's good. That's for sure.
Good morning or afternoon, close to whatever it is at this point.
Oh, and
Hey,
Jeff
Jeff.
Ward. Oh my gosh, Jeff Ward. If your ears have been burning, oh my gosh.
That's not a
Why
good sign,
why
I'm
should his ears
afraid.
be burning?
I've got a case with a lawyer in your part of the world, and he is, I think he probably figured out I was okay because I knew you.
Hey, Betsy.
Good morning.
Morning, morning.
Morning.
I was
Well,
supposed to be in a mediation this morning, but the other lawyer forgot to put it on her calendar.
Good morning.
Are you filing an ethical complaint against her?
No,
Him or her?
annoying
Well,
as heck.
okay, this seems to be the story of my life. I'm in a mediation right now. I'm a party to a mediation. I told these people to leave me alone for a little while.
Well, that's what I was supposed to be doing in mediating in one of my cases. And even though that we agreed on the date and the mediator sent out the letter and sent out a reminder to prepay, yada, yada, yada. Jeez,
Annoying.
Happens to the best of us, Betsy.
I
Yep.
know. It's just maddening.
Yes.
Okay. Well, Betsy, do you have any scoop? You're eating a donut like me, so I just thought I would.
I'm eating an apple. Thank you very much.
Well, I just had a chocolate covered donut, and it
Well,
was
that
quite
sounds-
tasty.
That sounds
So
better
if I-
than my
So if
apple.
I last for 20 minutes and then crash, you all know what happened. Betsy, how's my friend Celeste?
She's doing very well, thank you.
Is she rocking and rolling?
Yeah, I think so.
Good.
She's getting ready to go to the beach with her grandchildren. Well, they're going down to New Orleans for Easter and then to the beach.
Oh,
Yeah. We're beach girls here at this office.
Whoa. Nice.
I like beach too.
Mhm.
I'm with you all.
I like beach. I like mountains. I like being away from this office.
Oh,
Hey,
there's
Mark.
Harburg. Speaking of the world traveler, Harburg is in the house.
Hey, buddy.
Where have you
What are you
been?
doing?
Well, California, Lisbon, going to Keeneland, and then going to Santa Fe, and then to Quebec, and then to Utah, and then back to Lisbon. So we are everywhere.
Wow.
What are you doing in Santa Fe?
Got a DRI meeting.
Have you spent much time there?
Yeah, not a lot. I took Holly there for her 50th birthday, and we just had the best time. And then we went
Yeah.
one other time for an art selection deal for our local museum because it's just such a hotbed of art in that area. So
Yep.
I went back and going to be able to celebrate an anniversary with Holly this time and kill two birds with one stone.
Nice.
Yeah.
I went to the Santa Fe Food and Wine Festival a few years back. Holy moly. It was just incredible.
Harp, I'll do that with you. We got to go again.
Oh, I'd love to do that.
Yeah, I would too. Let me get off this travel circuit in a year, and we'll do it.
Good. Good, good, good. Is Dana on
I don't see
or
her.
or
I'm
Nicole?
here. We're ready.
I'm
Oh,
here.
okay. I just don't see you all.
Well, I'm not on video. I can be on video, but I like to be able to shuffle my papers and get my attachments and everything. So
Okay. Do you know if Dwight's coming today?
he's on.
He's on.
He's
Oh,
on.
okay. Well, I didn't see
Mhm.
him
There's
either.
boys.
Okay, I hear him. Okay, wonderful. Well, let's
There
get
he
this
is.
show. Do we have a quorum? Dana, I can't see everybody.
We
Yes,
do.
we do.
Okay, well, let's get rolling. It's 11:32. I'm sorry.
Hang on. Let Lanthy get everything going live streamed and then she'll count you in.
Okay.
We're all set and ready to go. The live stream started.
Okay, wonderful. Well, welcome everybody to our quarterly meeting. We've got a lot of good things to talk about today. And, I guess my welcome is under control. The first thing we need to do is to approve our minutes. And is there a motion that those minutes from our January meeting be approved?
Motion to approve.
Okay, whoever's doing the minutes, Dana or Noel, did you all get who moved and who?
Yes, I did.
Okay, and is there a second?
Second.
Okay, thank you, Mark. All in favor, say aye. Opposed? Okay, we've got minutes. Dana, will you give us our Rule 31 mediator report statistics for the quarter?
Yes, so for the quarter, I attached the report. There were 1,557. Oh, I'm sorry. There were 1,741 mediations reported. And of those, I wanted to point out to you guys, 11% were either pro bono, reduced fee, or grant funded. And then, if you take a look, also, I wanted to point out that 68% were reported as fully resolved. And I wanted to find some statistics like nationwide, but there's really not any because I wanted to compare like what our Rule 31 mediators are doing, success wise. But there's really, I couldn't find anything. If someone knows where there's a database or some, if they know where it's being tracked and studied, let me know. But yeah, so the first quarter looked like it was pretty busy. I wanted to give you guys a heads up. The AOC is not going to be awarding the Access and Visitation Grant in the next year. DHS is not going to fund that, and I think it's connected to the federal funding that's been cut. So we may see a little change, and that I think there will be more use of the current grants we have, and that's what we call the Rule 38. So if you see on the first page that statistic and court ordered pro bono, I think those numbers are going to go up because grants have been reduced, and the Rule 38 is a AOC state funded grant and not a federally funded grant. And I think we're going to have more of those reported.
Okay, super. Why don't you just roll in? You've got item 1D with our upcoming mix and mingles. So tell us about those.
This is really speeding along. As you know, the mix and mingles came out of not having a in-person ADR workshop this year for the first time. And you guys made it clear you didn't want to lose the networking aspect. So there was a committee appointed and through with staff, and then Betsy and Lori have worked with us on this, and we've got our dates, we've got our locations, and we've got our times. We would love for all of you to come to all of them, but we know that that's probably not logistically possible. If you can calendar in and meet us in your area, that would be great. It's just light refreshments. We're taking care of the parking. There's no CLE. There's no classes. It's literally for mediators and those interested in being a mediator, a listed mediator, meeting us and us giving nuts and bolts of what it means to be listed, the renewal that's coming up, the workshop. About this time of year, it starts, I don't know what my CMEs are. What do I need? How do I get it? So we just want to put names to faces for them if they attend. We are doing this by CVent so we can track everything's done on a registration portal. And we have office staff, Lanthy Klicka and Olivia Bush have been helping me and Noel with this and setting it up. And we've already got a good RSVP list for May 5th. So we look forward to these. Butler Snow's been great to offer their space. Bernstein, Stair, McAdams have offered their space, and the Nashville City Center, we're getting that space. It's on the 14th floor here. So this has really worked out, and we're really excited, and we're getting positive feedback.
Great. I mean, thank you, Dana, for all of your work on this. It's a kind of a real innovative thing. We're changing the format of our workshop, which we'll talk about later in the agenda. But thank you all for all of your work. Now, one other quick little tidbit here. The AOC is providing tea, water, and some snacks. The AOC cannot provide any alcoholic beverages. I'm donating a case of wine, 3 cases of wine for the events. And if any of the rest of you want to chip in some related items, Dana would be appreciative and happy to facilitate the receiving of those items. So if you want to have any questions about that offline, let me know. Let's roll into the staff report, Dana, and you can just hit items A, B, and C there.
When I completed the agenda as of April 9th, you can see we have 1,244 active mediators. This includes those, this excludes 22 mediators who chose not to renew. They have said that although they're active, they have said that they are no longer mediating. And I explained that the way the portal works, we can inactivate them, but technically until April 1st, they're mediators. But I just wanted to put that little caveat in there for you. And those who are not renewing, a majority are retiring. Or they have become judicial officers. So that's their reasoning for not renewing. I'm really proud of our staff. This year, as of March 31st, we had a 92% renewal rate. And I went back for the last 5 years, and this is the highest we've had in 5 years. In 2021, we had 89%. And also I wanted to point out to you that from last year to this year, we had a 14% increase. So we're really happy with that. 92% is the highest I can find, and especially in the last 5 years. So I just wanted to toot staff's horn on that.
That's great work, Dana.
Yep.
Congratulations.
Thank you. And it was me and Noel, and just they got lots of emails, and we did lots of different things this time, but I think it really worked.
Yes, it
And
did.
then, yeah. And then, you guys, the medical debt ODR pilot update, this thing has taken off. So number one, the AOC's IT team is building our own platform. They have already started mock-ups and they're doing some testing. Their goal is by the fall, we have a test platform. This is going to be so cost effective. We're already building in, it's going to start with medical debt, but it's also, they're building in the tools so that when we're ready, we can also include landlord tenant. And hopefully grow this into other cases from general sessions for the future. But because this is now in-house, we have ability to do a lot of things, and it's very cost effective. So we're very excited about it. We just got a great team. I want to give a shout out to the stakeholders in this. We've got Cherie Knott from Erlanger Hospital. Without her, we could not do this because she knows all there is to know about debt collection because she does most of it for the hospital. She supervises it. I don't know anything about debt collection or medical debt collection. So she's been a really good resource for the team in helping us write the code and understand what needs to go where so that it's also compliant with debt collection law, which is pretty significant. And we have, I wanted you to know Kathy Allshouse from East Tennessee Legal Aid. She's a supervising attorney. She was representing the debtors and she's making sure language is clear. We've got to send out, invite emails and things like that. Please join the platform. You've been invited to mediate. And so she's making sure we use her to check and make sure that, they're simple emails that are understandable, that, no conflicting, confusing legalese, just basic, everyday wordage. And also Steve Shields, who I call it the mediator pool. He kind of corrals and is over our volunteer mediators. He's also had some really good input from the mediator standpoint. And then anyone who helped in the original platform, thank you, because we're stealing, of course, your forms and not reinventing the wheel. So it's moving right along. And just a reminder, this is the first platform of its kind. There is no medical debt online platform for people to use across the state or any other state. So we're pioneers and we're really excited.
Okay,
Good job,
thanks.
Dana.
Absolutely. Great report. Dana, we're going to move into committee reports. Why don't you hit the first two? I've not seen, if Linda's on, I apologize, but I cannot see her on my screen.
Okay, I don't think she's checked in, but real quick, Linda now chairs the committee, communications committee. I have attached the newsletter agenda. We've got so much going out and we're doing the meet and greets that they decided they do like a summer and a winter newsletter. So you've got the schedule and the deadlines and the decisions on what's going to go in them content wise and things like that. So when you get a chance, if you have any questions, let me know. We're also going to be reaching out to the commissioners for articles, things like that for content. So if you see something you think should be in there, please let me know and I will send it to the communications committee. During the last 6 months, AOC staff, as you can see, we worked to ensure that mediators did not miss their renewal deadline. And so for those who, should they miss it and then by rule be required to retake the 46-hour training, we specifically targeted them at the end and sent them direct emails, not portal emails, because sometimes those go to spam. And we had a high response rate on that. And again, it's interesting, but the mediators, even though we publicized it, the rule changed to allow the exception, it's still new to them. And so I just thought that would be good to focus on that particular group. And so that's it for communications. Pro bono.
On pro bono, just real quickly, we've not appointed a new chair for the pro bono committee, but we're working on that. And Dana has kind of been shepherding that in the interim. And there is one issue that they had dealt with, and that was with a community mediation center. And Dana, tell us about that. Update us on that progress. I think that's about to be resolved.
if you'll refer to attachment 6, last year we had a community mediation center application submitted that was deferred. It's called the Advocacy Center out of Chattanooga. The executive director is Michelle Hubbs. The committee had originally reviewed this and deferred it because on paper they had explained their mission and that they were going to work with the local courts in Chattanooga. And Sarah, you were on that committee, so you can tell me if I misspeak, but there was some concern. They just wanted to see the committee in action, that they wanted to see mediations actually being taken, or the Community Mediation Center, they wanted to see them actually providing mediations to the local courts, and that there is an established relationship. This Advocacy Center does a lot also with federal courts. They have a satellite office in Georgia. So, you know, the focus for CMCs is providing mediations at an affordable rate and services to Tennessee and local residents. So the director asked me to bring this back. They have been mediating in the area. She also included 2 emails that she wanted you to see from local judges there, where they are working hand in hand and taking on mediation referrals.
Is there any action required of us on that, Dana?
The application was deferred, and so today, if the chair prefers this to go back to the committee, then I will work with the committee to in the next quarter to review this for recommendation.
That sounds like it's what we need to do, is that we need the committee's recommendation on that.
Okay.
Okay, super. Let's go to Betsy, Rules and Policy Review Committee.
You might be muted, Betsy.
My bad.
Oh, you're back now.
Yeah, I was getting ready to sneeze a minute ago, so I turned it off.
We thought you were having a donut.
Nah, I still got these apples. Dana, I just want to be clear where you have here that the goal is to set meeting third quarter. This, we don't need to have any action on this today. I'm just talking about it, correct?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, great. So Dana came up with this, and I think this is a great observation. This currently Rule 31 has the policy of this concept of renewing before the end of December, and then if you don't, you have to pay $100. And we've talked about all this. That completely conflicts with the Rule 31B, the annual renewal part, that says if you don't renew by the end of March, then you lapse. And so it's so much cleaner, and that's the idea, is to delete delete the policy about the $100 fee in the end of the year and just go straight to the more streamlined approach of, if you don't renew by the end of the year, you're not gonna be a mediator anymore. You're gonna lapse. So that's what we're looking at this point.
Okay. Super.
So for next quarter, we'll be voting on that.
Okay, well, we'll look forward to hearing your good report. The Grievance Committee, Dana, you're going to lead the discussion there.
Yes. The Grievance Committee is appointed by the chair. Usually the rule says if possible, you need to appoint 3 commissioners from the region where the committee or the grievance originated. As you can see, your committee's worked really hard, and the outstanding grievance was 2025-001 was disposed on April 9th, and that's attached for your review. And then the committee's been formed for 2025-002, and we're working to set a meeting. Noelle's helping me with that as well.
Thanks to the people who are serving on the Grievance Committee, we have, I guess, as we grow, we're just going to have more and more of these issues, but you all have really stepped up, as has the Ethics Advisory Committee chaired by the wild man Floyd Flippin. So Floyd, give us your report on Ethics Advisory.
Do I have to admit I'm a wild man, or can I say that was
Well,
wrong?
I've already established
Oh,
that.
okay.
I think
Poison-
that's
you poison-
in the record and established, so you can move on to the next
all right,
statement.
you poisoned the well. All right, we had Cindy is on our committee along with Jeff Ward, and we had two different requests for opinions. They're attached. Our opinion, proposed opinion, is attached in Exhibit 9. I want to brag on Dana. She obviously researches these before we ever get them and really aided us in our discussion and decisions on this. And Dana, I really appreciate it. I'm sure the committee does too. So there, I'll entertain any questions that you have, but our two opinions are attached to Exhibit 9.
Okay. Anybody have questions of Floyd or the committee? Floyd, y'all did great work. Thanks very much for quick action and all of your work. The next committee is a new committee that we established, the Mediation Arbitration Committee, and Jeff Ward and Mark Harwell have already met, have a great report. So Jeff, why don't you lead the discussion on that?
Yeah, and if you've seen the meeting report from that, you'll see that we actually met back on St. Patrick's Day because it's in the nice green color for everybody. But we had a real good meeting to discuss that issue about whether there should be further consideration for the ability to transition a mediator's role to a mediator arbitrator role. We talked about a lot of the pros and cons, went through a lot of that, did not come to any real consensus, although noting that there were both advantages and disadvantages, and ultimately made a determination that it needed some additional research before we'd be able to reach any kind of recommendation. And we want to look at what other states are doing, what other rules are out there already. So we're not reinventing the wheel, but evaluating what else has been done. And then we'll be looking at it further and hopefully be in a position to give some further feedback and some recommendations.
Super. Does anybody have any questions or comments on this? You know, it is a timely issue. I was in a very long and tedious mediation last week, and we came down to the final straw at the end of the mediation where we were discussing the terms of the release, and they were worried that they were going to have a disagreement, and they said, if we have a disagreement, can you act as the arbitrator and help us solve this? And I said, I said, I enforce the rules. I said, I can't do that. But I said, there's discussions underway. So Jeff and Mark, your work is very timely. So thank you. The fabulous Marcus Rudolph, why don't you talk about the Training and Education Committee? And Marcus, just kind of talk about the workshop and then the training waiver request. You can just go straight into those.
Well, thank you, Mr. Tarpley. And I'll actually yield to Ms. Dana Schmidt in regards to the update with the workshop. Ms. Schmidt, you want to take it over for there?
Yes. If you can direct your attention to attachment 10. So the workshop really is about 2 days. It's the day before the workshop and then the workshop. So on August the 14th, we have the annual commission dinner, and this is a time where commissioners, speakers, pro bono guests have a time to come together and discuss if they have any, last minute issues regarding the workshop. But it's also a time to, again, network, commune, and meet each other, because now we do everything on Zoom, and it's a good time for everybody to actually have an in-person meeting. Shout out at the Lori Reed, Commissioner Lori Reed has offered to host the dinner at her home. So Lori, I think we're going to have about 250 people.
I'm really busy that night.
And Lori, I promised to bring some good wine for that dinner, so maybe you count me out for the 250. Just kidding.
Okay. Bring enough wine for 250 and we'll be fine.
Oh, I will. We'll be rocking. I just hope we can get to the workshop the next day.
Okay,
Members went to that meeting too, Tarpley, and I would suggest that if there are any opinions, that mine will be better.
Well, good. You bring it. You bring, and we'll taste everything.
so thank you, Lori. We appreciate that. And Lori is rolling off. So this is her last term with us. So this better not be a goodbye as well. But anyway, if you will also note, we have identified the accommodations for this year. It's in between the office where we're going to have the training and where the dinner will be. So we'll be in Brentwood, and as usual, Noelle will work with you. If you know now that you're going to need a room, please let her know, but we've got the contract approved and we've got 15 rooms reserved. And then just to give you a little update on August the 15th, we will be streaming live from our offices. We have got some excellent equipment that is here. So I do not think we're going to have sound issues this year. Keeping my fingers crossed. We will provide, even if the hotel provides breakfast, we'll have coffee and light pastries and those things that morning. And then we will need to talk about what lunch we want catered. There's plenty of options. I just listed some there, but the door is open, so we can talk about what we want to do for lunch. Parking is free underneath the city center. We will have a QR code for you to validate. You ride the elevator up to the first floor, and then we'll be in the lobby helping get everyone to the right place. Just ahead of time on this, make sure that you factor in traveling from Brentwood to Nashville and the fact that the garage is located on a one-way street. Now, for the agenda, this is coming along really good. We just have a couple of sessions to confirm, but Susan Guthrie is going to speak. She was excited to come back. We also have Rebecca Zung, who I've got her info link there if you want to take a minute and click on that. So we've got two really good speakers. They're both going to do it from Zoom as well. We invited them to come and join us, but they're adding this to their other events for the day. And then, as you can see, we still need to discuss a family topic for the first breakout session. Don't have a topic or speakers identified. And then that is it for the need. Chuck, I know, is working to do a mediation interactive session. When we got the comments from last year's workshop, one of the things that was a constant comment was, we would like the interaction, we like the role play, we like, to see the commissioners do some type of scenario. You have a lot of new mediators who will attend this, and that's what they're hungry for. They sat through the 40 hours, they did what scenarios and practice they did within the 40 hours, but we get the calls when they get out there and they say, well, how does this look? What does this look? How do I say? And so when they see the commission, role playing and doing these kinds of things, they like that because that's the training that they're looking for. So Chuck is probably going to be reaching out along with me and Noelle to some of you to come up with a really good interactive session. Also, we think another thing why virtual is good is one of the complaints we had was the virtual attendees felt like they weren't heard. That through the chat, they would ask the questions, and we would work with the in-person attendees and get their questions out, but then we would run out of time. And it was really hard to manage when you've got two sets of questions coming in together. So this year, we're looking forward to maybe setting aside at the end, if you prefer, a 10-minute question and answer because they have a lot of questions. So that's something we're thinking about doing as well. just to, continue to have that direct contact with the attendees. That's what I have. Does anybody have any questions or thoughts?
Great. I think it's shaping up to be a good program. And if you see your name on this program and nobody's asked you to speak yet, that's my fault, because I kind of plugged in some of these names as who I thought might be great speakers here. I know Jeff Ward has a conflict and probably cannot join us at that time. So we're looking for somebody to be on session 6, the great mediator panel, with the even greater Gail Von Ashworth and his greatness himself, Floyd Flippin. So I think this is really shaping up to be a super duper program. So Marcus, training waiver request.
Yes. Yes, and I want to say kudos to Dana and Noel. You guys are doing excellent work in regards to the workshop. The training waiver request, we have 8 waivers that the T&E committee reviewed last quarter. I'll go one by one. First applicant is applicant 166173. This applicant is seeking a general civil listing. The applicant submitted information to AOC about a 40-hour course from Harvard Law School. Reviewing the information, it's determined that the training program was previously approved and was substantially equivalent to Rule 31 requirements. And so the committee decided the recommendation is to approve the training waiver. So is there any discussion in regards to this applicant?
Marcus, for efficiency's sake, why don't we do all of the requests at once, and then you can ask for a motion to approve the committee's work. And if there's any that there's discussion on, we could just pull them out and isolate them.
Perfect. Okay.
Thank you.
Absolutely. Second applicant is 165597. This applicant is applying for a domestic violence designation. Reviewing the information, the applicant's training proof is not substantially equivalent to Rule 31 requirements. And so the committee, in regards to this applicant, recommended to deny the training waiver. Third applicant, applicant 166318. This applicant is applying for dual listing, so that's civil and family. The applicant's training was from a non-approved trainer. And when the committee reviewed this information, it was determined that the training was substantially equivalent for the civil requirements, but not substantially equivalent for the family requirements. So the committee wants to, or recommends to approve the civil waiver, but to defer the family waiver.
And Marcus, if I can, I would like to have discussion on that particular one.
Absolutely. Go ahead, Chuck.
Okay.
Oh, do you want to do that now or at the end?
You want to do that at? Oh, we can do it at the end. We can do it at the end. We do it. Okay. All right. Next applicant is 166186. And this applicant is applying for a domestic violence designation. The information that was submitted to the committee, it looks like the applicant provided work experience and also a 2021 training course. Reviewing this information, the committee believed that the information was too vague and not substantially equivalent to Rule 31. So we recommend to deny the training waiver for this applicant. And then finally, we have 4 applicants in regards to lapsed credentials. And so we reviewed the information from these 4 applicants and the reasoning of why everything happened. And the committee believed that the information was, or the reasoning was just enough to approve their training waiver.
Okay, wonderful. It sounds like that we have unanimity, I think, on subparagraphs A, B, D, and E. if I'm correct in that, would somebody make a motion that we approve those actions?
I move that we approve the recommendations of the Training and Waiver Committee.
Okay,
second.
okay, so motion has been made and second. Any discussion?
Yeah, I'd
All
like
in-
to discuss 318.
Well,
That's
now
not included.
that's number C. It's not included in this.
Okay.
Okay, all in favor of A, B, D, and E, say aye.
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 All opposed? Okay, now let's move back to item C, application 166318. I think we need a motion and a second, and then we'll entertain discussion. Is there a motion that it be approved?
I'll move that it be approved.
Okay, is there a second?
I'll second.
Okay, the motion has been made in second, and I am hearing that there is discussion. Mr. Hill.
Yes, sir. Dana sent us some information in addition to what we had in the past about this particular application. And I noted that in that application, she said that the party was missing 4 to 5 of the 13 items that we look for in approved training programs. Some of those had to do with community resources, Tennessee court procedures. And we've had a practice in the past of saying, well, you know, it's kind of unreasonable to expect someone out of the area to have those. So we can waive those kinds of requirements. However, one of the requirements that she was also missing was working with unrepresented parties in mediation. And it seems to me that over the past couple of years, we've become increasingly concerned about the ability of mediators to work with those kinds of parties. It's become somewhat of a tough issue. And so I was concerned that the training program did not cover that. I didn't know the university that she took this training from. And so I looked it up, thinking that, you know, I'd better familiarize myself a little bit with it. One of the things I discovered is that their accreditation is in a show cause why accreditation should not be withdrawn mode, which is the third of 4 possible accreditation outcomes, the last of which is suspending their accreditation. So those 2 things, the fact that the institution she took the training from has somewhat questionable accreditation standing, and the fact that the program did not cover unrepresented parties in mediation leads me to be inclined to not approve her. That's all.
Okay. Any other discussion on item C? And thank you for the careful eye in looking at that, Chuck. Any other discussion?
I have a question. Hey, John,
Okay.
I have a question for
Yes, sir,
Marcus.
Lloyd.
You all obviously entertained that. What was your thinking on that, Marcus?
We went through based off the AOC's recommendation, and and I'll let Dana talk about a little bit more, but what she stated, I tended to agree with the recommendation of the AOC, and that was my thought process.
And Chuck is exactly right. I recommended, based on my review and research of this institution and past decisions, that the civil, I recommended approval for the civil. Again, that rarely does in a lot of these institutions will take the is it the ABA accredited or mediation rules or proposed rules, and that's what they turn their training into. So you're not going to get the specifics on the Tennessee requirements in even civil. Chuck was able to find what I couldn't. They do say that they're accredited, and I did email was really hard to get a hold of someone and ask about the accreditation and couldn't get a response. So kudos to you, Chuck, for finding it. I did get a response back in regards to the domestic relations portion of the training. And that's where the professor wrote back and said they do not train on domestic violence screening and anything related to that. He actually said that's a separate training. So I did get that as well. So what Chuck found at the time I made my recommendation, I did not have. But this is, again, an online school. They teach the basics of mediation, but not some of the Rule 31 things. And definitely I cannot recommend approval for family at all.
Further discussion?
Chuck, is your concern about the civil and the family?
No, we've already decided to defer family. So my concern is only about the civil. And kind of my thinking is, this is a trainer who had not been approved. Had they applied for approval with us, I'm pretty sure we would have taken the position that, well, you go get your accreditation issues resolved and come back and look at us. So given that, I'm inclined to not approve that particular waiver.
Other discussion or questions? Okay, are we ready to vote on this? I think
Yes.
there's a motion and a second. All in favor of the committee's recommendation, say aye.
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 Okay, all opposed to the committee's recommendation, say aye.
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 Okay, I think we're gonna have to have what I'm calling a division of the House because I can't see everybody. Who all voted in favor of the committee's recommendation?
I did.
Okay, now, Betsy and Marcus, anybody else?
Floyd.
Floyd,
Mark did too.
Mark, so that's 4.
Right.
Somebody else, I'm sorry?
No, I'm
Okay,
keeping up.
okay, and then who voted against?
Sarah?
Sarah,
Chuck?
Chuck, anybody else?
Lori?
And this is Jeff. I'm on the committee and I voted against myself just because that Chuck's information was not information we had when we made our recommendation. So,
I'm
and that
changing
would
my
have
vote
changed
to go
my.
with Chuck.
Okay, so I have 4. Is this what you have, Dana? 4 for the recommendation and 4 against?
I just counted, Mark Harwell just changed to not approve. So it's 4
Okay.
to 5. 5 is not approve.
Okay, I think it fails.
Yes.
So we will disapprove the civil and, well, are we deferring or disapproving?
You're denying the vote is to deny the waivers.
Okay, the vote is to deny the waivers. So we have denied those by a 5-4 split. Sounds like the United States Supreme Court here. Okay, Marcus, thank you for all of your work on that. And Chuck, thank you for your thoughtful discussion. Let's move to the Credentials Committee. And Lori, I think what I'd like to do is the same thing that we did with Marcus's discussion. If you go through yours and then we'll do an omnibus motion at the end, but if there's anything that we need to pull out, we can.
Yes.
Okay, thank you.
Thank you. There were 94 new Rule 31 mediator applications. 58 are recommended to the ADRC for approval without dispute. So that will be part of our vote in a minute. The 3 require a review. Number 166181 failed to meet the minimum educational requirements. The committee recommends denying. Number 164992 failed to meet the minimum education requirements as well. We recommend to deny. Number 166230, family training was 100% virtual. That's not approved, that's not allowed. Our recommendation is to defer the application. Those are the first ones. Do you want me to go through the rest of them? Even on the training waiver ones?
John's not on right now. There he is.
I am, there I am.
Do you want me to go through the training waiver ones as well, or just vote on those now?
I would just do all of the
Okay.
ones that you have, and then we'll do one big motion. Sorry.
Yes, no, that's fine. So the next one is 166173. We recommend approval. These are the training waivers, by the way, and we just voted on those a second ago. 165597, we recommend denying the domestic violence application. 166318 was denied, so we don't really need to address that, correct? Yeah.
Correct.
Okay. 166186, we recommend denying the domestic violence application. 166160, we recommend approving the application. 166222, we recommend approving that application. 165373, we recommend approving the application. And 166336, we recommend approving that application. The next three applications had disciplinary histories, and we, on 165761, we recommend approval of the application. 165719, we recommend approval of that application. And 166343, we recommend approval.
Okay. Lori, I am assuming you are moving the approval of the Credentials Committee report and
Yes,
these decisions.
our
Okay.
recommendations, yes.
Is there a second?
Second.
Is there any discussion? All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Okay, no 4-5 split this one. So this is approved. Lori, thank you for your hard work. We are really going to miss you, my friend.
Yep.
I'm going to miss y'all.
Oh my gosh, we are going to miss you. Okay, closing remarks. There's not a lot. Does anybody have anything that's on their mind that they need to bring up now? By the way, Justice Tarwater, do you have anything you want to add here?
Yeah, I did actually raise my hand, but since nobody can see me, that's probably okay too. But John, I realized there was a proposed rule change submitted about a training waiver for a judicial officer who would have been a certified or a listed mediator prior to the time he or she took the bench, and allowing that person to weigh in after take it off the bench. And I thought you were copied on that. Do you remember seeing that from Howard Vogel that was a proposed rule change?
Dana, you're going to have to help me there. I don't remember.
I have not seen that one come through, Justice Tarwater. We've got another one that we've rolled forward that will be a part of, but not that one. We had.
Okay. Well, I don't know whether he was, I thought he had told me that he sent it to you, John.
Maybe I missed it. I'll go back and look. Now, who is it supposed to be from?
Howard Vogel.
Oh, Howard did send something, and but I didn't sense that it was to the point of where it needed a decision from us. I thought he was wanting some kind of. I don't remember this, but I remember getting something from Howard. I apologize. Let me look and see if I can find that, and then we'll we will take whatever action we need to on an interim basis if necessary.
Okay, so just to think about this for a second, and I have to be a little bit careful here because I had nothing to do with this. I just saw it from Howard, but I actually fit into that category because I was a listed mediator before I went on the bench. But I have no plans to leave my current position anytime soon. So I don't think this really relates to me, but I just wanted to say that for full disclosure. But I think the question, I think what he was asking is, should the commission ask the Supreme Court to change Rule 31 to allow for a retired judge to reassume mediator status without going through the training again? And I wasn't really sure whether that should come from the commission to the court, or I guess the court could just change it if we wanted to, but we wouldn't want to do anything necessarily without the commission's approval. So if you, John, if you don't mind, let's see if you can resurrect that, or
I have already found it. This is my mistake. And Justice Tarwater, what I would recommend here, and Dana, tell me if I am off base with this, but I think we need to refer this to our Rule and Policy Review Committee with Betsy as chair. Let them look at it and give us a report, and then consider it at our next meeting.
I think that's exactly what should happen. And that's a good idea. I didn't mean to speak out of school, Dana. Do you agree?
Yes. And if we are, I think that the rule, the way it is now written, can allow that anyway under 15B waiver. You just approved a juvenile court magistrate who for many years was on the bench and could not renew. And she submitted a request to have it waived. And she submitted, I've been a juvenile court magistrate for all these years, and her basis was, I've dealt with domestic relations and families and conflict all this time. So I'm not real sure what a retraining would do for that. And she was just approved. So we can look at it, but it could be that the waiver will already assist in this type of issue.
Yeah, I thought the same thing. But I think it's worthy of the committee's review, and then
I agree.
Paul can act on it at the next meeting.
I agree. I mean, Howard has been a real force in the mediation business in Tennessee for a long time, and I want to respect his request and at least take a look at it. And Betsy, I've already sent that to Dana, and she will send it to you as soon as we get out of the meeting. And if you and your committee can convene on that and see what you come up with.
All righty.
Okay, Dwight, do you have anything else for us?
No, I'll keep my eyes peeled for you though, buddy.
Okay, good. Thank you very much. Any other comments from anybody else? I'm not hearing any. Our next Rule 31 application deadline is June 3. The next quarterly meeting is July 15, and we will get down and dirty with our workshop agenda and get all of the final things that we need to do there. And then Lori will be giving us a preview of the menu of the gala event at her house. And with that, folks, I think we're adjourned. You all have done great work. I appreciate all of your help. And
I do have one question, John.
Yes, sir.
Have you had a chance to appoint a third member to the grievance committee yet?
We're working on that.
Okay.
I got to talk to
It's gonna be
Justice.
Cindy.
I'm sorry.
It's going to be Cindy. She accepted by text.
Oh, okay. I didn't realize that.
Oh, good.
Well, I need to discuss a couple of things with Justice Tarwater before I kind of roll it out with you all. But we're working on getting some additional members for our committees. So, but I needed to talk with Justice Tarwater on that first, and then I'll communicate by email after that. So, thanks everybody. Have a great spring. Hopefully, it's finally warm. Hopefully, it's finally quit raining. And I appreciate all your work. Have a great day.
Have a great day,
Thank
everyone.
you.
Stay
Thank
on.
you.
If you're,
Bye.
please
Stay
stay
safe,
on.
everyone.
Hey, stay on if you're in the training committee or the credentials. We need to do your quarterly meeting. Hello?
Yep.
Yep.
Okay.
Oh, thank you. Training and education, if you'll pull up your July calendar, because you need to be first in the logistics.
You said June
July.
or July?
Let's see, June 3rd.
Well, we can do June. Towards the end. Don't you think that will give us enough time, Dana?
If we want to do June 23rd, that would be for Chuck, Jeff, and Marcus.
That works for me.
Let me double check. Hold on one second.
Dana, I've hardly got any open dates. So you may just have to set it and I'll try to attend.
Okay. And we can always take your decisions by email, your discussion.
That'd be great. Yeah,
June
I may have to
23rd
do
should
that.
be fine. June 23rd should be fine.
Okay.
9 o'clock. 10 your time, Marcus.
That'll work.
Yeah,
Chuck?
I can do that. Yes, I can do that.
Okay.
Okay. And then for credentials, Lori, Betsy, Chuck, and Mark. Would you be available June 25th or 26th?
Yes.
26.
I am in Santa Fe the 24th through the 27th. So it'd be great if I didn't do it that week.
Okay. How about July 7th?
July 7.
Uh-huh.
I could do
July. I can do that.
I'm in Quebec the week of July 6th to July 10. I'm sorry.
Okay. Well, we can do the week of July 1st, but if you guys are available, I'm available. If you want to do,
I can do it from the beach.
or June 30th?
I can do June 30.
I can do June 30.
I can.
Same
Okay.
time.
Yeah, you want to do it at 9 a.m. East or Central Time?
That's fine.
Okay, thank you guys so much for working to set this. We'll set out the meeting invites.
Thanks a ton,
Okay.
everyone.
Appreciate it.
All right.
Okay.
Guys.
Bye.
Take
Stay
care.
safe, everybody.
Yep.
Bye.
Bye.
Thank you.
Thank you.